Hey, everybody, welcome to Backer Pause. We're going to take a trip, but before we take that trip, it's time to play the beginning credits. Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience backer pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judged? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, COMIX. So who wants to play? Comics Newswire at yahoo.com, and that's comics. We're getting a little bit of feedback from who wants to play. Is that you? Comics Newswire at yahoo.com, and that's comics. We're getting a little bit of feedback. Kyle, are you watching it from YouTube? Comics Newswire at yahoo.com, and that's comics. We're getting a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Are you watching it from YouTube? Okay, Kyle, you have something playing. Just hang out in the StreamYard. If you have YouTube playing in your background, that's probably what it is. Sometimes in the browser, you'll have it open. I've done that a million times. Just hang out in the StreamYard. If you have YouTube playing in your background, that's probably what it is. Sometimes in the browser, you'll have it open. I've done that a million times. Just hang out in the StreamYard. If you have YouTube playing in your background, that's probably what it is. All right, what we'll do now is, as Kyle figures that out, we're going to play the video for Lead City. Let's do that. So here we go, guys. This is Lead City. All right, so we have you muted. So tell me about Lead City, guys.
Well, Lead City, we set out to tell the story of an unconventional Western. You know, we've all seen that, line them up in the street, high noon, we're going to have a showdown type story. And so we wanted to go a different way with that. We wanted to start off with that classic Western. We've got some homesteaders heading out from Missouri. They're headed west. And like the video says, calamity befalls them. They become stranded. And the main character, Coleman Cooper, quickly finds himself embroiled in a situation he really doesn't want. He's got his son in tow, and he's left with really no way out when his wife falls ill. And so he enters the Lead City contest, which is a contest held every year high in the Sierra Nevadas, and it draws basically a who's who of outlaws and ne'er-do-wells from all over the Wild West. So they all show up there, and they have it out in not your typical gunfight. So
who came up with the concept? Was it based off of watching Bantams as a kid? What was the inspiration that got you here?
Well, I think the thread that I first latched onto was the film Open Range. Have you seen that? As Kevin Costner, Robert Duvall is in it, and if you've seen the film, the gunfight that takes place, which takes place in a town, it's so realistic that I mean, people are missing each other at point blank range. There's smoke and yelling, and like it's literally a free for all. But it felt like the first real Western style gunfight that I've ever seen in my whole life. You know what I mean? Like that's how it would be. And so that was so realistic to me. I was like, man, you know, and I've always wanted to write a Western, always, you know, big fans of ever since I saw Barbarossa in the 80s with Willie Nelson and Gary Busey, I've wanted to write a Western. And so, but pretty much, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Everything in the Western genre has been done or done again, you know? And so I really wanted to get into a story that wouldn't be your typical Western. So yeah, we wanted to make a splatter Western, and that's kind of what we've ended up with. Well, that's what we're in the middle of, rather.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that you know, I kind of ran into Eric a couple of times in the local comic book scene at conventions and stuff. And you know, I shot him a call and I was like, man, we got to work on a project together. So we sat down at a Starbucks one afternoon and just started going over some different story ideas. And I came up with a couple and he came up with a couple, and we landed on Lead City because we both were like, man, I always wanted to do a Western, you know? And I think the thing that makes this one really unique for me was the fact that it's kind of like the way that people used to do warfare, like they would line up in a line and all shoot at each other with the muskets and stuff, and then they would return fire or whatever. This is like civilized combat, and then you end up with you know, like Apache Indians that are just running around and scalping people and going crazy and doing all kinds of, you know, uncivilized stuff. And I kind of like how this wasn't your typical draw and shoot tournament. You know, this was just like throw a bunch of outlaws into a ghost town and see who comes out alive, you know?
And the art is great, man. It definitely takes you to that place. Like you feel like you're in the Wild West as it is. So it's well done. Let me ask you a question. How long is this planned to go on? Like, what are we looking at right here? Are we looking at an ongoing series, limited series?
It's a limited series. Like Kyle was saying, it's told within the framework of a single event, the Lead City contest, which is obviously an annual contest, but it's these outlaws all thrown together at once in a city built for this contest. And so may the best man or woman win. And so, yeah, it's a 4-issue limited series, and that's where the Lead City will end.
Now, Trish does say that she needs some voiceover. It would help, in my opinion. Why did you guys opt to not go for a voiceover? Do like the Western sounding voiceover? Yo, Sammy. Oh, yeah. Gosh darn it, you came for a fight.
I know. How fun would that be, right? I agree with her 100%, and I'm going to go ahead and raise my hand because this one falls on me. You know, I'm constantly. I'm sure, Rob, you know this better than anybody, but as an artist and you know, like colorist and inker, and you know, like I'm spreading myself so many thin over so many disciplines that I'm not the greatest at making videos and you know, doing voice recordings and things like that. You know, I try to focus as much of my time as I can on the actual pages, but yeah, it's like I would have loved to take some real time with this thing and got into some voice acting and stuff like that. That stuff it gives me a kick. I really enjoy it, but I was just trying to get something as quickly and easily up as possible that looked really good. I was trying to kind of balance something that would, you know, look really nice, but also not take me a ton of time. And that's what we ended up with for the, you know, for the video. So I agree with her 100%.
The art was beautiful when you brought it to me, because I get to look at these things behind. The story seems interesting. And it's funny, like everyone talks about the Wild West has been done, yet we're so just drawn to it, aren't we? Like, if you think about it, Star Wars is just a Wild West in space. Firefly was definitely like a Wild West thing. And, like, there's just something about that time period that I think that humanity almost is drawn to in a weird way. Like, you don't see anyone time period get as much fan fiction made about it and fandom around it and inspired so much by it than you do the Wild West.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there. It's an easy reach for people. You know, you've got an established good guy. Typically, you have an established bad guy. That's really easy to go. And I've wanted to write westerns for a long time. In fact, that I wrote a paper a long time back on how The Professional with Jean Reno and Gary Oldman, that's just a New York western. You know, I mean, that's what it is. You know, you got your anti-hero, which is Leon, and, you know, you have the damsel in distress, which ends up being a very young Natalie Portman. And then you go into Stansfield, who's obviously the evil sheriff. So, yeah, I mean, it just the dynamic, the setup for that lends itself to basically any setting you can put it into. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Now, you guys don't have a lot of time left, so I want to stress to everyone, they have to go out and see this. Is there a quick URL that they can get to? Now, of course, the link is in the description. You can get to it by going to comicadvocates.com. It is part of our list of Kickstarters, but is there a quicker URL that they can use?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. I've got it right here.
We'll put that up on the screen.
Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, well done, guys. I mean, the Wild West is one of those times, and you can't really get too much in trouble writing about the Wild West because it's so wild. Anything can happen. That's what's kind of fun as a creator with I think the Wild West stuff. Meredith says, "Good evening, gents."
Hey, how's it going?
And we also have, let's see, because this is 2, so don't know where the story is going. Totally understand your answer too. She's like, because this is the second issue, right?
Yes.
This issue. So, but you have the back issues, right? Like, that's one thing that a lot of people always ask us: is there a way to catch up? Do you have the catch up tier with issue 1 and 2?
Absolutely, yeah. We've had enough of number 1 that we wanted everybody, at whatever point they jump onto the story, we obviously want them to be able to catch up. You know, 4 issues is not a long way to catch up. So us being on 2, we wanted to make sure we had plenty of number 1 for people to jump in and be able to catch up with the story. So yeah, that tier is available.
Well, I mean, you guys definitely brought an interesting project. I appreciate that. You guys ready to judge some other projects and find out where your backer pause lays or lies?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, sounds good.
First up on our list, we have, let's see, we're going to have Benjamin Cook Presents Apex. So Apex has been on the show for a little bit of time now, and it's a pretty cool idea. So if you guys are ready to watch the video, we'll get right into it. Remember to raise your hands because we won't be able to talk while the video plays, as you guys saw before. Raise your hand, and because there's only 2 of you, one person raising their hand stops it. And we'll come back out and you guys can tell me why you experienced backer pause. And here it is, Apex.
Hi, my name is Ben Cook. My entire life, I've been fascinated by nature, evolution, and how we came to be. Years ago, I started wondering what the next stage of evolution would look like. The result was Apex, a noir comic based in Cess, a city built on a pile of trash. Cess isn't just a place in Apex. It's one of the characters. In a story about evolution, the ecosystem is as important as the creatures within it, and Cess is no different. This polluted no-man's land of advanced technology and decadence brings the best and the worst of us together, and that makes it the perfect environment for something new to emerge. Meet Mohini. By night, she tends bar at a fetish club called Transgression, a place where her full set of canine teeth and predator eyes can pass largely unnoticed. But by day, she hunts. Let me be clear, Mohini is not human. She's just forced to live among us like our ancestors did with Neanderthal and Homo erectus. She's not interested in coexistence. She's designed to dominate, and the people of Cess are not prepared. Witness a new fight for survival, and discover what it means when our species loses its place at the top of the food chain. The future is here, and she's hungry.
All right, you guys made it through the video. Before we talk about it real quick, Edward Davis says he backed your project, guys.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Edward.
There you go. So
Appreciate it, Edward.
what do you guys think of Apex?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in right here off the bat because as an artist, I'm looking at this stuff and wow, this stuff is really nice. I mean, it's just got really great balance. It's got a good, good spot blacks. You can tell this artist has a command of his craft, and he's picked a lot of different interesting views to kind of the lens that we see his world through is full of a lot of exciting differences and different angles. So I really enjoyed. I thought I don't know if it was the streaming or what, but there was a little bit of a jig in the video, and I'm not sure if that's just because of the streaming quality or whatever. But other than that, like I thought the voiceover was good. The guy's voice sounded nice, and I was able to follow the story. He kind of made it simple enough to where I was able to follow through with it. And yeah, man, I couldn't find it in my heart to pause that one.
And the music's his too, as well. Just so you guys know, that's actually from his band.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I actually did some music for a couple of my, or actually one of my, or yeah, actually two of the videos that I did for Kickstarter. I did my own music, so I definitely know where that's at in terms of putting that stuff together. It's a lot of fun.
Edward, we got him to back Apex as well. That's always a good thing because we want to see that. What did you think of it, Eric?
I dug it. I think he presented himself right at the very beginning. He set the stage for the world you're going to be presented with, and he very smoothly kind of introduced his main character, who she is, what she does, and what you're probably going to see. So it unfolded really well for me. I kept waiting for the pause, and it just wasn't there. Like he presented it very well, and he went from kind of a macro focus, which was the world, and really dialed it into basically who she is, which is, I can imagine, the Apex, right? I mean, at least that's what we're looking at potentially. I don't know. I'm going to back it as soon as I'm done here for sure, because that looks like a sick project, you know?
Yeah.
It's very, very well presented.
Yeah, beautiful art. We had him on the show. Turns out Canadians aren't that nice. They paused everything.
Oh, no.
Him and Chuck, man, they were pausing crazy. But our next one's up from Joseph Abbott, who presents us Black Sun Samurai. And this is going to be the year of like samurai, right? We have the Marvel's jumping into it. We're hopefully going to see, there's rumors that we might see Iron Fist return somehow in the MCU. So let's check out what the Black Samurai is all about. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's check this out.
Enter the realm of Shinkoku. Kabukimono bandits raid a heavily guarded caravan, expecting to find great treasure. Arashi Kumataka, the old Tengu, well past his prime, but still a master swordsman, and Kigare Hakajima, a hot-headed young samurai, valiantly defend the caravan in this epic adventure set in feudal, mythological Japan. 34 stunning pages of stunning, digitally painted interior artwork.
We have our first pause of the evening, brought to us by Eric. What's going on, man?
Yeah. The voice took me out of it a little bit, but I kind of rolled past that. What really, really pulled me out was when he went to the black and white flat image. Like he was presenting the art, he was presenting the story well, he's telling a story, and then you show me a flat image with black and white letters. Like that took me away from what you were telling me. I was you just disconnected me from the art. So
I want to just add to that too, which is because that's about the same place where I kind of lost interest. I started thinking about something other than the project, which is what obviously the focus is, right? But when they came up with the text on the screen while they're telling you something, so now you're now giving me information, you know, like vocally, and then you're asking me to read information, so I'm hearing my own internal voice read that. And it's either I'm not that much of a multitasker. It's either one or the other. I'm gonna either not get the information that you're flashing to me on the screen, or I'm not gonna be following what you're telling me verbally. So that was a little bit of a I fell out of the production at that point for me.
And just as a heads up, and those are great explanations, by the way, but if we're having trouble identifying a Facebook user, guys, it's a setting. If you notice that we bring up someone's comment and it says Facebook user, that's just one of your settings on StreamYard. If you look it up, there's a way that we can actually announce who you are. Because I just got sent a message and I had to send them the information, another person on how to do it. It's just a stream. It's a privacy setting generally on your profile. That's why you don't see it. Or you're commenting from a group. Find me, Rob Anderson, on my profile, and it's usually never an issue.
On a positive note, I did want to say that I really enjoyed the artwork. It looks like he's, like really got a hand in the like painted coloring, which looks really nice. And there was a lot of really good things about the project. I did just kind of fall off during that little center, that point in the middle. I couldn't get through it.
Hey, every moment of your pitch matters, right? You guys have done comic book shows. You know it. You live and die by your elevator pitches, right?
Oh, yeah. You got a very short amount of time to hook them. That's for sure.
Well, there was just one other thing that jumped out at me, and maybe I'm being a little overly critical. I don't want to, kill anybody, crush anybody's spirit or anything, but I think he used two adjectives right in a row, the same adjective, like in like back to back at the end of one sentence at the beginning of the next. And I can't remember exactly what the word was, but it was just I was like, oh, a little bit of a cringe.
Edward says, "Stunning pages of stunning." I think that.
Yes, yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. I didn't know if it was like kind of like a he was doing a bit, or like it was supposed to be a kind of funny thing, or if he was like a parody of himself or something. I'm not sure, but
well, they said about a joke, right? If you don't laugh, it didn't work.
Yeah, right, something like that.
Yeah, if you're not laughing, it didn't work. But this is definitely going to bring, I think, a smile to your face. This is Sophia Saturn. Huge fan of this. This is also ending this week. We have a bunch of them that have a little bit of time left. Let's see how you guys enjoy Sophia Saturn.
The teen space adventure, Sophia Saturn, concludes its first story arc with the final chapters of the 5-issue miniseries. Sophia is a high school senior ready to start her adult life, until she and her friends get sucked through a cosmic wormhole and into the middle of an intergalactic war. After the surprising cliffhanger of issue number 3, Sophia is back to wrap up her first story arc and decide where this journey will take her. With this campaign, we are trying to bring issues number 4 and number 5 of the 5-issue miniseries to print. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity to get these limited edition comic books. This cosmic tale is written by KJ Kaminsky with dynamic artwork by Ben Herrera and brilliant colors by Ross A. Campbell. The team comes together to create a fun, all-ages comic series with an animated style and tone. Issue number 1 features variant covers by industry veterans Drew E. Johnson and David Williams, as well as the limited exclusive black and white covers that show off the artist's tremendous line work. Also available is an exclusive t-shirt you can only get in this campaign. With your help, we'll be able to conclude the first space adventure of Sophia Saturn and her friends. I hope you'll consider contributing to our Kickstarter for one of the valuable rewards packages we have offered. Thanks everyone for all your support.
All right, what'd you guys think?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a solid video. The only part that bogged me down was the presentation of the t-shirt. I mean, I think that can not be in there. It's not enough to make me pause because I want to find out the rest of the information for sure. But it just kind of became a little clunky, at least for me. We're presenting the book. We want to know about the book. And I think that becomes a footnote or something to be read or presented physically as a visual later on in the I guess, campaign. So, but again, not enough. That's me being nitpicky, I guess. But an otherwise slick video, well presented, tells the story. The art's slick. So, yeah, that was the only thing that even gave me a moment's like, that was weird to be in there. But again, not enough to pause.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump in on this one too. And wow, I love projects like this. This is like what makes indie comics so unique and special. And when I see people producing indie comics at this level, it just makes my heart happy. You know, I mean, to know that this stuff is going to sit on stands next to Marvel and DC, and it's going to go toe to toe with them. I mean, the artwork was fantastic in this thing, and I feel a little bad because I was planning on saying like really great things about it, and then I heard it was from Ben Hara, who's like a friend of mine, and I'm like, oh, okay, now it's going to sound like I'm really, you know, patting him on the back. But man, he just did a really stellar job with this project, and the colors. I actually know the colorist too, and he did a bang up job as well. So man, I love seeing this out there because I know that when people go to a comic book shop and they take a chance or go to Kickstarter and they want to drop a couple bucks, and they're taking a chance, you know, they're taking a chance on indies. And when indies are creating something of this level, it does us all a good service. You know, it makes us all look good. So yeah, man, I can't say enough good things about that one. The voice was a little tinny on the video, but other than that, man, just solid performance.
And Meredith lets us know that Sophia Saturn got the project we love over on Kickstarter. Congrats!
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. He earned it, man. There's a guy, like, I know Kyle, man. He's energetic. He was on as many shows as I'd let him be on. He's like, oh, Rob, I'll be on. He's like, you don't have a guest, I'll be on. And as Kyle knows, I just kind of go with the wind. I'm like, hey, Kyle, what are you doing tomorrow night? After Brian Polito at 10 p.m., I don't have a guest. Want to be the judge? So, like, Kyle was great. He came on. I love this. I backed it. I'm a backer. I can't wait to see it. I keep telling him he's got to come to Florida because I want him to show up so I can get some of the all covers. But definitely cool, man. Congratulations to our friend Kyle Kaminsky for his KJ for his project we love. Pretty awesome. We're gonna switch gears and go into a different kind of Kickstarter. This one is Wolfsbane. And Meredith also said, by the way, real quick, I got so distracted by the project that we love. The art for Black Sun Samurai is amazing. It is. And Edward said, that was my exact compliment when I was on a complaint last when I was on. I backed the book, so it wasn't a deal breaker for me. And a lot of times these smaller little things that we've seen tonight, nothing would stop anyone from backing it. I think we'd all agree. There's been nothing that so far that has made anyone hit a hard pause. Will that change? Let's find out as we play the video for Wolfsbane. Away. Oh, wait a minute. This is Indiegogo. Yes, there it is. All right. Indiegogo has a weird code. That takes me a minute to find it. Here we go. Wolfsbane. Before you could pause it, it was over.
Well, that was definitely loud on my end, but the music was really good. So loud is okay when the music rocks like that. I thought the art was really nice. I felt like the video kind of flowed. I just wanted to jump out in front and comment on the volume because we had talked about that earlier. But yeah, solid effort for sure.
You get away with it just because it's good music, but it was still loud. Like, I had to turn it down. Like, I got the 6-year-old sleeping behind me. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm hitting buttons trying to go lower.
Yeah.
What did you think, Eric?
I felt like it was good. Definitely well presented. Music was good. Not exactly sure what the story is about, but I mean, I can pick it up. It seems a pretty de rigueur, but I felt like it ended a little too abruptly. You know, you're in and then you're out. So I wanted a little something more on the end. Like, give me a little something more. I'm not even sure what that is, but I just felt like it was ended a little too abruptly. So
I could see that actually. I actually think we've heard that in a couple other people saying that. So, our next one up for today though is Stellar Odyssey. This is actually brand new to our program. We've only had it on once, so you guys are going to be giving some of the first feedback on this. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about the swordsman and the gunslinger. All right, Trish wants both of you guys when Mike's project goes live to be on Backer Pause. But what caused you to have pause with Stellar Odyssey?
Yeah, I still don't know what it's about. I hear the music, I see the art. Art looks good, but you haven't told me a single thing about what's going on in the story.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree
You
with.
know?
I think that my interest is piqued when I see kind of a cowboy looking figure there. I hear the swordsman and the gunslinger, and it looks like it's kind of a space odyssey. So, man, I'm there. I'm ready to. My wallet's open. I'm ready to go. And you're showing me the artwork, which is cool. I want to see the great art, but you're not really giving me anything to. Nothing's really bringing me to the table. Like, I'm sure the story is there, but it's just like, man, give me something. Give me a line of text across the screen, or a little voiceover or something, man. Yeah, I definitely can't let this one go without at least saying something about the art, because the art and the colors are on point. And I feel like a broken record at this point. I don't know if Rob, do you just pick projects that are super good all the time, or what's the deal?
We're open, man. You saw the terms. You have to read the terms. There are people who walk away from the terms because I think they know their video would never hold up. I had someone be like, "Can you just not show my video?" And I'm like, "Not really backer pause, then, is it?" I was like, "If you don't have a video, that's one thing." And they were like, "Well, I've copyrighted music. Does that count?" And I'm like, "Okay, we'll just show your picture." Which we do have one today, but they don't have a video. Not everyone does a video. But no, these are just fantastically great creators. I do think the elevator pitch would have gone so far. Just having that elevator pitch at the very beginning of this, I think would have gone so far. I absolutely
even like a blurb to bring you up to speed. Like, if I'm a new person seeing this for the first time, and obviously they're on issue 3, like, this is a new project to me. So you have to bring me up to speed, or at least set the table for me so I can get into it. Like I said, man, you got me with the art. It looks awesome, but a minute into it, I still don't know where I'm at. So it's like, how much am I into it?
Yeah. Did you gentlemen get transported back to the 90s like me? The minute I saw that art, I was back in the 90s. There was Fishnet. I was waiting for my Image comics that still weren't coming out on time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the 90s, man. It's nothing wrong with some nostalgia,
Right. Those internet commercials that they had with the girl in the wheat field or whatever. Oh my God!
You used to get all the AOL CDs. You and your friends used to throw them at each other. There were so many of them.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to Sword of Justice. This is actually the third. The mini-series comes to a staggering conclusion. Oh no, let's check out the video and see what's happening.
Sword of Justice.
Hi there, I'm Silvio Spotti, creator, writer, and artist of Sword of Justice. First, thank you for your support on issues 1 and 2. Your help was essential so that we could make this project a reality. This 3 issues miniseries is the first story arc detailing the adventures of Rena, Muriel, and Tenet as they continue their adventure on a future Earth. Now issue 3 is the staggering end. You don't want to miss that. It's a great battle. You have 3 great covers, 1 by Citizen, 2 by Rafael Angeles, 3 by me, interior color by always great Veronica Lopez, and Rafael Angeles is painted by Ivan Nunes, the great Ivan Nunes. As usual, we already have half of the book already inked and lettered, and the editor is, of course, John Taylor IV and Top Secret Press. The book will be delivered as fast as we can. So please, join this great adventure. Read, collect this word of justice.
I just got to say, it takes a lot of guts to be on a video when English isn't your first language.
Wow,
100%, man.
I really like that guy. I got to tell you, just from hearing his pitch, you know, and he brought a lot of energy to the table. It looked like he was really a huge fan of his own work, which is, you know, I think you have to be that first before anything. But
Looked like a little kid, so happy about making comics. That's what I love, that energy.
Right. Yeah.
I dig it, man. Sylvia was super intense. I loved it. And like you said, you're there, paused on his words because obviously English is his second language, but still, man, he killed it. Like, super excited to make comics, presented the information well, obviously is in touch with the story that's going on. You know, gave props to the other artists. Yeah, great pitch. And like you said, facing up and just facing the camera, you know, he presented all real smooth. I wonder how many takes that took, but he delivered. Super cool.
And that's a one take. That's a lot of credit. That's a single take. He does not break. For English being your second language, and he kept the energy up. And yeah, he looked away a couple times, and he could have thrown some art up. I'll be honest. If he had put some art going over the screen, that would have been so cool, floating by him. Yeah. But still, man, I love seeing creators. I love to see that energy. And you could see him like, I'm not going to screw up because I love this project so much. So nothing but love and respect. The art looks great. Who doesn't love a blonde with a laser sword? Come on.
Yeah, I love the fun style of it and the cartoon style. And then he had the nice kind of, I think it was a double, or it looked like a double page spread behind him on the wall, which really caught my eye the whole time. I was kind of like going back and forth between watching him and watching, you know, kind of trying to figure that one out. But I would have liked, I'm like you, man. I would have loved to see more art. I think it would have gone a long way towards enhancing the probability of a sale, because you know, like you don't hide the art on his book. He's got that's a major attraction. You know, that's the, you know, I was pretty impressed with the style.
It's beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah.
Our next project, no video. We did say this was coming. John Wilson presents the what is it? Why can I not say that? Pneumatic. Case. There we go. Pneumatic cases. Damn you, dyslexia. Winning again. 1 through 3. Sleuthing steampunk spouses. This is a video right here. Like, oh, what you could do with it. The art is great. I don't understand there not being a video for this one. They're doing good. They're wrapping up on May 30th, so we'll have some more time with them on the show. Maybe I reach out to these people every so often. And I go, you got to get a video, especially with the art that's there. But before we leave, because that's it, guys, we actually made it through the show. I want to play your video again, because at the beginning of the show, sometimes people at the end haven't seen it again. So let's take one more look at your guys' video, because I dug it. And at the end of it, let's just talk for a minute. What would you change if you could? Because I always like hearing that. You guys ready?
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely.
Let's do it. And away we go. All right, guys. So if you could change your video today, what were the things after watching all the other videos that you would do?
You can go first, Kyle, if you want.
Sure. You know, the a lot of the things that I wanted to do with video, obviously, if I had a little more time, and from seeing your videos today, I would have. We were kind of trying to plan for having a like a back and forth between me and Eric, and having us kind of tell a little bit of the story or talk about the project a little bit, and have live video of us kind of mixed in with, or either before, after, or somehow mixed into the video that's on there, just the video of the story. But I feel like it does miss the human element a little bit. It doesn't really, we don't really get across a personal connection with people with this particular approach. It was down and dirty, and we were able to get it up really quick. But yeah, as far as like really connecting with an audience, I feel like, man, if we were just talking to people a little bit and sharing the project and kind of some of the excitement that we have, it would have went a long way for us, or still potentially has the, you know, the possibility of going a long way for us, because we are going to be doing another Kickstarter for the project when it wraps up at issue 4. So yeah, we're going to be taking this and moving forward, and you know, it's definitely, it's fun watching all these other videos and sharing opinions about them and stuff, just to kind of give you an idea of what else is out there, and what people are doing, and what works and what doesn't work, you know?
Absolutely. This has been one of those shows that everyone goes back and says, I was on Backer Pause, and that changed how I did videos, because I knew Rob was coming and he was going to watch my video and say something. What did you think? What did you think, Eric?
Yeah, for me, I would, in going back, obviously we need to capture the voiceover piece. I think from what we've seen today, you know, the voiceover piece really helps when it's presented well, helps people connect with the project even better. If I was going to run this again, probably the only thing I would do is introduce the villains with some, maybe a card or something like that. You throw up their name over their visual so that people can get in touch and realize that it's a kind of a multinational assortment of villains from all over the place. That in this video, that might lend itself to getting more in touch with who these bad people are. You know, everybody loves the bad guy, and it's like, what makes them bad? Maybe their nickname or what have you. But yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, in lieu of the voiceover, of course. So,
all right, guys. Well, where can they find you on our way out? Tell them how they can follow and find you guys on social media.
Well, for me, if you want to jump on Facebook, I have a Splatter Comics page. So just do a search for Splatter Comics on Facebook. That's pretty much the only site that I religiously make updates to. I just try and kind of keep my social media footprint manageable, so that I can kind of focus on doing the artwork and you know, all that good stuff, and then keeping up my 9 to 5 too. So, you know, that's how it goes with me.
yeah, I'm typically on Twitter. You can find me at 100 Proof EB. That's the one I'm usually prowling on, posting the most on things like that. Same handle for IG, not on there as much. But you can also check me out at my website, ericborden.com. You can keep up with just about everything I have on there.
I appreciate you both taking the time tonight. Thank you for bringing us your awesome project. And everyone go out there and check out, you know, all the projects here, but especially Lead City, because you guys are down to, I believe, just what? Hours now, right? You're on the hour clock?
Yeah, we're on the hour clock. I think we were at 90% before we started this video tonight. So we're not even funded yet. We did fund the first one. Yeah, you know, it went pretty quick. And it seems like there's a little more drama involved in this go around. But yeah, we're at 90%, so we're looking to get over that mountaintop, and then we've got plans for coming back to the table when we finish issue 4 and just doing a combination to where we do all 4 separate issues, and then also a kind of a graphic novel that's combined.
So you guys can be the heroes, can help them get over the top. They're at 2,705, 104 backers though, 60 hours to go. Let's make sure we get them over the finish line. Even if it's $1, which we're going to explain the power of $1 in just a second, go there, Get them over the top. Let's make them a project that's successful. All right, guys, thank you so much for being on. Thank you to the audience and the commenters and the Peanut Gallery giving us all the great comments. We'll see you next week at a regular time, 8 p.m. So we'll see you next week at 8 p.m. for Backer Pause. Remember to hit the highway. The cons are opening up. Check out where you can go to a live and local show and meet all these creators in person again. How exciting. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon or early afternoon to do the Comic-Con Highway. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in, and please stay and watch The Power of a Dollar. The power of a single dollar. One single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators